Have you ever imagined what it's like to study in a completely different country? Different rules, different expectations, and a totally different mindset. As a Syrian student who began her academic journey at Damascus University before moving abroad, I have experienced both worlds. And today I want to share with you how that change completely reshaped not only my academic life but also my personality. So stay with me. I started out at Damascus University in a Faculty of Arts, majoring in English literature. But to be honest, I couldn't adapt at all to the atmosphere, the academic environment, or even something as basic as student housing. Everything felt wrong to me. The biggest issue, the education system. It was based entirely on rote memorization. There was no room for critical thinking or questioning. It felt like students were just expected to memorize textbooks word for word and spit it all back during exams. And that's something that really didn't work for me. And studying abroad was a completely different experience, like stepping into a new educational universe. Suddenly, I was in a place where critical thinking was at the center of everything. Professors encouraged discussions, debates, and research. The system itself was always evolving, always refreshing. It was refreshing and honestly a little intimidating. I still remember my first class abroad. It was a course called Anglais des Médias. It's like media English. We were watching the commentaries and discussing British media. But here is the thing, the first session, students were already doing presentations. I was just sitting there completely lost, not even understanding how the class worked. I felt so anxious and confused. I had no idea what was expected from me. I wasn't the one presenting in that session, but watching others made me realize how much I needed to learn not just the language, but how to navigate a completely new academic system. Everything was unfamiliar: evaluation methods, the classroom, culture, and even how students communicated with professors. So I watched, I listened, and I slowly started to adapt. What I loved about the system abroad, one of the most beautiful parts of studying abroad was the respect professors had for students. They were curious about where I came from. Some of them even asked me questions about Syria, not in a political way, but to understand my background and connect with me on a human level. What kind of interaction was totally new for me or to me, and honestly very comforting. It reminded me that learning isn't just academic, it's human. Another thing I absolutely loved, we had a course that was entirely oral, no written exams, just open discussions. It was like stepping into a space where our voices truly mattered. We could express ourselves freely, share our opinions, and engage in real, meaningful dialogue. It felt like an intellectual playground, where we were encouraged to be curious, critical, and authentic. So, if you are feeling overwhelmed, here are three things that really helped me. Ask questions, lots of them. There's no such thing as a silly question when you are learning something new. The more you ask, the faster you adapt. Build relationships with classmates, professors, people from other countries. Your worldview expands so much when you learn through others. Embrace the new system. It will feel overwhelming at first, but once you understand how things work, everything becomes easier, and trust me, you will grow in ways you never expected. This experience changed my personality for the better. I became more confident, more aware, and more analytical. The major thing I realized is this: if I just memorize things without understanding them, I will fail. That approach simply doesn't work here. What really matters is whether I truly understand the content, whether I can analyze it, and whether I can express my own ideas. Professors can easily tell if a student is actually grasping the material of or just copying information. This pushed me to become more detail oriented, a better researcher, a clearer writer, and most importantly, a deeper thinker. It shaped me not just academically, but emotionally and mentally as well. So, my final thoughts: growth beyond the classroom. Studying abroad isn't just about attending classes in a different country, it's about transformation. It challenged me, humbled me, and at times even scared me, but it also shaped me into someone stronger, smarter, and more independent. If you are thinking about studying abroad, or if you have just started your journey, take it seriously. It's a life changing opportunity, and the growth you experience goes way beyond the classroom. Thank you so much for watching. If you have had a similar experience, or if you have any question about studying abroad, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos, especially the next one where I will be diving into my journey with German language. See you soon.